Right then, this is a walk-around video for an absolutely stunning looking Honda CR-V. This is the 2.2 diesel and it's the black edition car. This one's done 61,000 miles with a full service history and is in as close to immaculate condition as I think you'll ever see a used car for this age of mileage. It really is absolutely beautiful. I'm in the shade, by the way, because sunny days are fantastic, but unfortunately they're awful for doing videos. And if there's any imperfections, you tend to show up in the shadows here, which is why I've done it, so I'm not trying to cheat. Lights and lenses and front bumper absolutely clean. You can see there the grille and the front trim underneath there, all part of the black edition kit. Front of the car, I mean, it hardly exhibits a mark anywhere. It's absolutely unbelievably clean. Near side, passenger side first, and it's mirror smooth in the panel work, absolutely beautifully clean. Near side front alloy, these gorgeous looking black edition alloys, again really clean and tidy. Get these aero style side steps on the car. Near side rear alloy, again pretty much unmarked there as well, and it's one of my favourite angles for the car. I just think that is a really handsome looking car, really nicely done. Again, just show the panels on this side, there's nothing there at all. And coming around the back, obviously you get the trim at the bottom in white and the high level rear spoiler, and again all beautiful condition. Offside, driver's side, again can't see any imperfections in those panels at all. Offside rear alloy, again without any marks there. And coming down the remaining panel work, there's literally nothing there at all. And finally, offside front alloy in, again, beautiful condition. So again, I apologise it's in the shade, but it is for the benefit of doing the video. So coming into the boot area now, enormous boots on these CR-Vs. Quick release rear seats, just use the handles up there to drop them down. And again, the condition just beggars belief. I mean, whoever's had this car has just kept it sensationally well. Coming into the back now, big wide opening rear doors. That legroom, by the way, those front seats are set for me and I'm over 6 foot tall, so I'm not cheating. It is almost like a limousine in the back of them. They are massive in terms of legroom, and interior has been kept wonderfully well. That's not always the case with the CR-Vs, as I often say in these videos. They are essentially sort of family cars and they can be quite bashed about in the back, but this just looks like new back here. Let's come into the front passenger side. Door card, again, as with all the others, in just lovely condition. Sorry, let's get my shadow out there if I can help it. You have to trust me because the sun's on there, but the front passenger seat, again, just looks absolutely as new. So finally coming in by the driver's door, again, all absolutely wonderfully clean. And driver's seat again, one takes all the wear, but again, it just looks in super condition. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section of the video, so the dash can be seen illuminated as I always do. Dashboard again just looks absolutely factory fresh, absolutely amazing. Sat nav, you can see they're working absolutely perfectly. Pop the car into reverse, you get that lovely rear parking camera with the grid there to guide you through. But it really is in stunning condition. Just to come up to the main dashboard binnacle, pen in there for you. There you've got 61,516 miles. The only warning light on showing is obviously the fuel light currently. Multifunction steering wheel looks as new and feels as new in hand as well. So finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V, and it's the 2.2 Black Edition model. This particular car is registered SY14PKX, and mileage at the start of the road test is 61,510 miles. As I always say, the reason for doing these videos very simply is so that if you're looking at this car in an advert online, you actually get to see that very car in operation. We know that many of our customers are willing to travel vast distances to come and see our cars, so the least we can do is to go to the time and effort to do this. We know to our cost, unfortunately, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look great in photographs and in the advert, only to get there to find out that it's got a fundamental problem which shows up while test driving the car, so hence that's why we do it. It's also done on part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on. Hopefully then that would be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive in the car. Car itself, as you'll know hopefully from the advert, has been very well looked after, and it's immediately obvious because it drives as tight as a drum. It really does. Engine, which is an absolute peach of a diesel engine, starts absolutely instantly. It settles to completely smooth, even idle. No warning lights on the dashboard at all, aside from a low fuel light currently. And temperature gauge running as a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car. The engines, as I said, I mean, it's just probably the perfect diesel in lots of ways. It's very smooth and refined in operation, very sweet revving through the entire rev range. There's no harshness to it at all. You only really know it's a diesel in the very lowest of gears, and even then it's subdued. But it just pulls so nicely from any rev virtually all the way through in a wonderful linear fashion. You don't get those horrible peaks and troughs of power. That's why it also makes a really good tow car, by the way, especially these 2.2s. But it's just such a civilized engine. It really is, and of course being diesel, it's very good on fuel. And being a Honda, it's very reliable and very long lasting with normal maintenance. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch is perfect, it's exactly where it's meant to be on the pedal travel, and it's light and positive in actuation. Gearbox is simply sensational. I mean, it has no right to be really in a SUV. This is something that would happily sit in one of Honda's more sporty offerings because it's very short in throw, very tight in the gate, but the actual engagement of the gears is just wonderfully sporty actually. But when you change gear, the linkage is just brilliant. It really is, and I can detect absolutely no wear in it at all, which is commonplace for the Hondas. They are beautifully engineered machines. The steering of the car is really nice on the road because what it's trying to do is give you it's got to strike a bit of a balance really, because at the end of the day it is a family car and an SUV. It's not a sports car, but what it gives you is a very accurate steering, but it feels nice and tight and makes the car feel really heavy on the road. It's obviously light, but it just gives you that feeling of security and solidity, which you'll know if you drive one of these exactly what I mean. Again, zero wear in it. I mean, it tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all, and I'm up to the legal speed on the main road here. But just, it's a wonderful setup on the car. Same goes for the chassis. What I'm looking for in these road tests when I hit bumps like those, I'm listening out for any kind of knocking noises or chattering coming from underneath. There's nearly always little drop links on cars of this age, but there's nothing at all. And worth pointing out, tomorrow the car will be going for a fully independent MOT, so regardless of what I feel, it's going to be checked anyway, as we do ourselves as part of the pre-delivery inspection, by the way. But again, with the chassis, what Honda have achieved, and to be fair to them, they know this market so well, with the CR-V being the best-selling SUV in the world. They give you a very compliant, comfortable ride. But where it's clever is the fact that it just has very limited body motion in normal driving. So when you kind of, with a bit more speed, go through corners like these, it just flows through the corners really nicely. And that's particularly important for rear seat passengers who may not be concentrating on the road ahead, head down reading a book or a phone or something. And you get a lot of motion with lots of cars, and you get very little with these CR-Vs. It's a brilliant setup. Brakes on the car, just give them a bit of a shove. Really, oops daisy, solid brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for is powerful brakes, which they certainly are, but also I don't want to sort of feel any kind of pulsing or vibrations, and there's nothing at all coming through the brake pedal in that sense. Looking around inside, and bearing in mind we've not even touched the car inside yet in terms of cleaning, so that's going to happen tomorrow. It hardly needs cleaning. It's in just stunning condition inside and out, this vehicle. And bear in mind, this road test video is actually done before the walk-around video, which will be done tomorrow at some point. The editing means that walk-around comes first and this comes second. It's just the way it works. But absolutely stunning condition and quite beautifully made. They are, I put it in the advert and it's true, there's no squeaks, no rattles, and this is real build quality years down the line, not when the manufacturers hand them to the motoring press and say, look at our lovely car. It is just fabulously well made and a lovely place to sit and operate as well. It really is. It's a great dashboard design, really simple. As you can see, sat nav working perfectly, which will probably go dark in a minute because I've got the auto lights on, so as you go under the trees it may well turn off. There you go. But all working exactly as it should. The air conditioning, which is obviously dual zone, so you can have different temperatures side to side, again all working exactly as they should, and the air conditioning pumps out lovely cold air. I've just checked that as part of the drive of the car. Little things which I love on the CR-V is all the controls, all the switches you press have a really beautifully manufactured feel to them. They've got a lovely tactile feel, sort of rubberized, but with a sort of click action that you get from the very best of Japanese technology. It's beautifully done, and very, very long lasting. And the rest of the dashboard, again, very simple to take the information in and all working exactly as it should as well. The car is four-wheel drive. It's a four-wheel drive version. All the 2.2s are in this generation. And it's a brilliant system because Honda worked out, again, very quickly that the vast majority of drivers, and sort of well over 90%, will be driving in conditions like this, perfectly good. So why have four-wheel drive whirring away constantly? Because if you do that, you're going to be using your tyres up more quickly, use more fuel, and you put more mechanical stress on the car. So there's no buttons to press in here. Should it need to go into four-wheel drive, let's say you a bit of snow or ice or going across a muddy field, it automatically brings in the four-wheel drive absolutely seamlessly. And the beauty of the system is its simplicity. The fact that it's so simple means they are incredibly reliable. And we've been selling Honda product using the system for well over 20 years now, and not so much as put a spanner on one of them. It really is fantastic. As I said at the start of the video, the whole point is literally just to show the car in operation, but to feedback anything that merits a mention to you. Nothing at all. It just drives absolutely as new. It feels rock solid on the road. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car or something I've missed, don't hesitate, please do give us a call.